Hello, welcome to the Director's Chair podcast. I'm Moose.
I'm Jared, and this is our guest host, Alex.
Alex is a good friend of ours. He is mainly a photographer, and he's just all around pretty awesome.
He does photography for USF. He does like semi-pro football teams like the War Eagles. You did baseball too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He also did the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I feel like we should have mentioned that pretty much first.
Professional teams are not better than semi-pros, just letting you know.
It's just a little bit more nicer to work with the best. So, I'm going to start just with questions for Alex. So, tell me what it's like in terms of like photography and stuff like that. Like how exactly is your job? How does it exactly work? How you exactly get these contacts? Walk me through the process of getting to where you are.
Well, the process how I got to where I was basically I go on the website on what I want to do regarding photography, preferably sports, and I'm huge into college sports, so I mainly go to the USF website and I check to see who their sports information director is, and whoever it is for that sport, I'll usually send an email off to them, and I'll say, hey, I'm a local photographer in the area, and then if you could you credential me to the games, and so I can get the access that I get and see basically how close I can get, and if I'm either doing it for a website like how I do for USF Baseball and College Baseball Daily, or I do it for myself to build my portfolio. It all really depends on that. So I mean, sometimes I'll say, oh, well, you have to be a part of a media outlet, which you're always going to struggle with in the sports photography field is you're always going to have a media outlet to do it for.
Yeah, I think a big thing for not just sports photography, but for photography and for just working for anything kind of like professional is you really have to be like connected and kind of like aware of just the people that are around in the area. I know that's a big issue for at least me and Jared because, we'll be going to Home Love and we'll do jobs for them, but we're not idiots. We're not just going to stay with Home Love. We're going to try to get other jobs.
Yeah, that's always something in the media field is you're always going to have something else lined up.
Yeah,
I'm in that struggle right now where I do stuff for USF College Baseball, but after that happens, I don't know where that's going to take me.
Yeah.
And I have some stuff for the Tampa Bay Rays, but I mean, if they only take me to 3 or 4 games, then I'm stuck in like, well, what do I do until USF hockey season rolls around?
Yeah.
And you also get like players that come to you about the photos too, right? Mm-hmm. Like people specifically, like baseball players. You've done basketball too. Basketball players have come up to you. What do you do when it comes to like specific players?
Well, you try really hard not to fangirl a lot. I mean, they're athletes, but they're just like us. But I mean, it's pretty cool when you have a baseball player come up to you and he's just like, oh yeah, I've recognized you at games and I've seen your photos, so they look really good. And that really inspires you to do bigger and better things. And that is one of the reasons why I keep doing what I'm doing.
So have you specifically done, I know that you haven't just done Tampa, but just for the sake of the podcast, have you done any work outside of Tampa for like photography and stuff like that?
I've done stuff in Wisconsin and near Cato Falls. For a couple of people, I've done stuff in Michigan for a few people. I was just up in New York recently doing some stuff. So, I mean, the opportunities I can get are pretty amazing. And I really love traveling. I mean, the harsh reality of it, I don't like going to the airport and going through security. But once you're past security, I mean, you're just really looking forward to flying up there and seeing what it has in store. And I mean, it's really fun.
Yeah, I know that that's something that I definitely kind of dream of. Not specifically with photography, but just just being able to travel and being able to do my job around the world, not really specifically only here in Florida.
Yeah.
Because if it was only here in Florida, I feel like I would be very, very stuck, and I feel like I wouldn't really be doing what I want to do.
Yeah, especially in this area, there's not a whole lot that it has in store.
Yeah.
Where the closest thing that I have around this area is to go to Tampa.
Yeah, because I know that a big issue, and I mean, I'm sure that Jerry can attest to this. I mean, there's not really I mean, this is the big issue with Florida. There's not really a big market for filmmakers. I mean, I'm gonna correct myself. There's a market for filmmakers. It's just not very large. There are larger markets in like Atlanta and obviously LA, stuff like that, like working in like these big kind of cities. But you need to make sure that you're kind of established before you decide to go to those cities. That's what I'm finding, because if you don't have an established like production page and established like this and that, you're not going to be able to get any sort of jobs in that field.
Right.
I mean, I know that what's the word? I think was it Jake that worked on the mule? Yeah, I know that. I mean, I don't really exactly know what Jake had to do in order to get onto that movie, but I know that he definitely had to have some sort of like presence and established kind of like market for himself to be like,
for media too. It's just like, it's all about being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Honestly, this bothers me. I don't understand why people say that this job doesn't include a huge amount of luck. Because a lot of people are like, oh, it's such an easy job. I'm sure you can get a job really quickly. It's not that simple at all.
I'll be honest, media jobs are very underrated. I mean, people think they can do the similar things that I can do on an iPhone. And
I went out with you to a game, like a hockey game, and I remember taking photos with you. Like, I remember looking back at the photos, and a lot of them seemed really good, but then you like put them on the big screen, and you're like, oh, damn, that's like fuzzy as hell, or something like that. But it was really fun too, like when we went to the hockey games. But there's a lot more work that goes into it than people realize.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's all about developing an eye for it too. I mean, I can agree with you where you really gotta self-judge yourself a bit, where you think a photo looks really good, and yet you scroll maybe 5-10 pictures to the right, and you see something that's even better than that, and then that one that you thought was really good becomes useless, and that one that you like now becomes better. And I mean, that's where a lot of my time comes into, is the editing portion of it. And it's just like, well, I drive an hour to Tampa, I take pictures at a baseball game for 2.5, 3 hours. I come home, I edit my photos for about 2.5, 3 hours, and then I go to bed finally. And I mean, people say that, oh yeah, well, it's a very easy job. I'm like, no. Photography, especially video work too, is laughing matter.
Because I know that specifically I've shown, I mean, my project for this class is done. I'm done with my project, and I can say that officially right now. It's coming out May 17th if you want to check it out on theretractivemedia.com if you want to.
That little sponsorship.
A little bit of a plug. But I've been showing people my project. I've been kind of like screening it for certain people. It's not just my family, obviously. I've been screening it to like people who have been interested and wanted to see it. I know that they go, yeah, it's really, really good. I'm sure I can do something like this. And because a lot of my friends and a lot of the people that I was showing it to, they were like, oh yeah, I want to be like in YouTube and stuff like that. And they want to do this and they want to do that. And it pisses me off because they're like, oh yeah, I could do this. And I just want to say to them, I bet you don't even know what a cross dissolve is. Like, I hate people like this. I hate people that go like, oh yeah, it's such a simple job. It's not. It's so much work. I put more work into the editing than I did the filming.
I will say, for some days of filming, like your piece was a little easier because we were able to just film it inside your
definitely.
house. But like, for my piece, I had to get like favors from people at the school to shoot after school. And even then I was on like a time crunch. Yeah. And it was...
In case you didn't know, he was basically using his high school as a rented location. It was very tiring trying to get everything that he needed in the matter of like an hour on day 4.
Oh, in the classroom scene? Yeah, and it didn't even turn out the way I wanted it to.
Yeah, and that's the... I mean, I know that can apply to photography as well. That's the kind of thing that you have to be aware of, that, you can prepare and prepare and prepare, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be exactly how it is.
I told him to come in with the... He's taking photos.
Okay, cool. I got really confused. Did you turn the recording light on?
What? Yeah, I did.
Okay, good.
I told him.
Sure.
I told him to come in and take photos.
Okay, cool. You're good. You're good. We're talking right now, as you can tell. You can talk if you want. I just yeah.
He's probably gonna come over and be like that generic guy. Hey, how you doing? Just
I'm not cutting this out, by the way.
Yeah, I know. just keep it in. Keep it in. Just in case you guys didn't know, come in if you want. Just in case you guys didn't know, a person came in and I freaked out because I thought we were getting robbed. Now, we're in a school right now. I don't know who would have robbed us.
Mateo.
It probably would have been our teacher.
That I might have to cut out.
that would have been really keep it in. That'd be really funny.
Big old foreheads coming in here just to steal.
Enough. Now we have to cut it out.
No, we're not cutting that out.
Watch the podcast.
All right. Moving on. Have there been any movies that you've wanted to see recently? Like any sort of like.
Have you seen it?
This goes for both of you, not just.
I mean, I'll be honest. I haven't really wanted to go see a movie lately until you showed me the trailer of the Joker that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm
So I'm
excited.
really waiting for that one to come out.
Yeah, that movie looks rad.
It does, honestly. I'm willing to go see it opening night,
Hey guys,
honestly.
what's up? Rad here.
Hey yo guys, what's up? Rad here.
It's it's rad.
Yeah, I think it's really funny though, cause I was watching that trailer and I'm like, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna feel about it, and then I saw the trailer. I actually gave my opinion on it. I'm like, it's fucking dope.
I have to go see it.
Yeah, it's a movie. That's one of those movies where it's like it's gonna be good. You just don't know how good. You know what I mean?
I think Joaquin Phoenix is gonna do the Joker justice.
Yeah, and if the script is bad, if the acting from everybody else is horrible, and if any sort of like effects that they have to do or anything like that look crappy, at least I know that Joaquin Phoenix is going to save the day and make a good role. Because at the end of the day, I don't think I've ever seen I don't think I've ever seen a bad Joaquin Phoenix role. And that is something that, I'm going to stick to my guns where, he is very good at his job. Mm-hmm. And, he invests himself in the role, no matter what role it is. And I watched this movie the other day with Joaquin Phoenix in it. I think it's You Were Never Really Here, I think it was called. And it's like...
It's not a popular one. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's a little bit more of an indie film. It's... It got like an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, okay, I might as well give it a look. It basically chronicles this guy who's in the military, but then ends up becoming an assassin, and he's like extremely depressed. He takes care of his mom, stuff like that, and his like sickly mother. And then he goes on this one job, and then it ends up being like a lot more than what he signed up for, basically. And it sounds a little generic, but it's honestly really good, but it's mainly because of his performance.
A whole performance could take over. This isn't going in like into depth of his project, but I remember watching the argument scene between you and Sam.
Yeah.
And for some apparent reason, that argument scene, like, every now and then keeps reoccurring in my head. Like,
yeah.
It was a really good performance between Sam and you.
Yeah, because the actor that I hired for What You Deserve, my project...
Samuel Tully. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. I hate you.
You won't stop crying.
The project... I casted one of my very close friends who's a theater major, and he wants to be an actor. When he gets into the industry, he really wants to be an actor, and that's all fine and dandy. However, you have to understand that he's a very, very good actor, and I'm not going to take that away from him. I mean, Sam is really good, and if he doesn't make it into the industry, it's a damn shame.
He was like center stage for that. Like he pretty much, I'm not gonna say you did a bad job, but he pretty much carried that piece.
Look, I'm gonna tell. Thanks. I'm gonna tell you
I'm
something.
just saying.
I am aware that my performance isn't like outstanding and isn't groundbreaking, but I like to think that my performance was good.
Yeah, it was a good.
Yeah. However, I'm gonna tell you this. I think that Sam's performance was the only reason why I was able to pull through editing it. Because if it was just like me and Rachel, I don't think it would have worked as well. It was because of Sam's kind of like, because I gave Sam the script about a month and a half before anybody else. I had been working on the script prior to submitting it in class. And I go, this is the script. This is what I want you to do with the script. I want you to take it in. I want you to take in the emotion for it. He goes, okay. And I think he fucking killed it. I think it's the best performance I've seen out of him, and I've seen a lot of performances out of him, both serious, comedic, and everything in between. He's a really good actor, and I really hope that if he watches this, I'm not trying to just hype you up for anybody to be disappointed by you. I think you're a genuinely good actor.
And the thing I've noticed too is that like, if I've learned anything from the last few projects, I've noticed that people forget their lines all the damn time. Yeah. Sam, we didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
He memorized it like word for word.
Yeah, if Sam has that issue of he doesn't remember the line, he knows the direction that he has to go in.
Yeah, so he kind of like compensates for it.
So he's like, if it doesn't, well, not really compensate, he knows how to fill in the blanks if he doesn't remember everything. And it works. It works very well. And, I really want to take the credit and be like, yeah, I scripted everything in that. Everything went according to plan, but, not everybody knew their lines. It's something with the industry that you kind of have to deal with. And not everybody's going to remember their lines 100%. And that's in any sort of kind of industry, stage plays, videos, stuff like that. So, seeing him be able to fucking kill it like he did, I'm happy with my end result. Even if some people don't like the film, which I know that some people don't or won't. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how my project came out, and I hope people enjoy it. At least I hope.
Before you leave, Joe, can you come back over here? I want to put something out there. All right. So we have this saying that we do all the time called clean. This is the guy. So
if we ever say that shit clean on here, you thank this guy. Right here. This guy right here.
And should we do a thing for like, if we start rating movies, we have like the Joe Seal.
Yeah, that's clean. That shit clean.
Bro, now I gotta be a stamp.
Joe.
Yeah, it's gotta be a stamp. It's 4.5 Joe stamps out of.
Joe, do you want to plug anything before you get out of here?
Plug anything?
Yeah, plug anything like your Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah,
I want to plug my mom. For being no, not like that.
My guy, really?
We gotta cut that.
We are not cutting that.
I want to shout out my mom for being my mom, and that's about it.
Do you want to plug your Instagram or something like that?
Oh yeah, follow me, Joe_motion with 2 N's. All right.
With 2 N's.
All right, thank you very much.
Don't forget to follow this guy on there. He's got sports photography. He does a lot of photography.
We've only been recording for 15 minutes. I feel like we're wrapping up for some reason.
You want to give him your tag real quick?
My tag is Alex Walworth Productions. I'll make sure you include a and on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a lower third.
He's working on lower thirds. Okay. So, yeah. People have been screaming into pots recently, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about this really weird trend that I've been seeing. And this has nothing to do with film. This has nothing to do with our projects. This has nothing to do with photography. I just really want to talk about this really weird trend that I've been seeing on like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, where people have been screaming into pots and then closing it and then hoping that when they open it, they hear it again. And sometimes it works, but other times people look like they belong in a mental institution.
I've only seen one of those videos.
I haven't seen any shows.
It's
How much time I spend on social media.
It's been trending, and I'm like, what the
Wait, like every other video is that?
I've seen like a decent amount of videos to where I can say like it's popular.
Oh my god.
It's just somebody screaming in a pot going, ah, and then they cover it,
Just
and
like
then
that?
nothing happens. It's like they belong in a mental institution.
I'm starting to think you need to belong in a mental institution.
Just because I stuttered again?
No.
Oh, now screaming hands is going to be a thing.
I heard it.
It works. It works, Moose. If anybody was listening to like an audio version of this, I love it.
R.I.P. headphone users.
Oh man.
What movies have been coming out recently that are like really, really bad?
Really bad movies.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up. I'm not just on my phone right now. I'm like genuinely looking it up. And yes, that's Dave Chappelle on my phone. I'm
Captain
sorry.
Marvel.
Those Tiger Woods.
I'm very, very sorry. Dave Chappelle is on my phone right now. I apologize.
Dave Chappelle. Captain Marvel was arguably a good one. Bad one.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Give me your
Good
take on it.
response.
Give me your take on it.
I don't think it's necessary, like the acting per se, except for Brie Larson. Brie Larson is getting shade like crazy. Right?
Yeah. She's been accused of a lot of things, mainly being a really crazy, what's the word? Feminist. Yeah. And I'm not trying to diss the feminists. I'm not trying to say that women can't be independent. However, when it comes to Brie Larson, she is batshit crazy. Now, let's dissect it a little bit. So that it doesn't seem like I'm just a complete douche. Which I am. But she like hates people in general. And I find it weird. Because I see her in interviews and I see like Chris Hemsworth joke with her. And she goes, oh yeah, I do all of my stunts.
And then he couldn't. Just
Yeah,
look
and then
away.
she goes, I do all my stunts, but there's like literally behind the scenes of her like drinking a coffee while one of her stunt doubles is doing something. That's not an actual behind the scenes, but I know that she did have a lot of either it was CGI or it was
A
stunt
stunt
work.
double.
Because there's not so much really stunts that you can do with Captain Marvel. She literally flies in space. 99% of the time. I mean, you're gonna ignore that bush crack. I know that you're thinking about it. Space.
Sean.
Oh God! Please don't.
Hey guys.
guys.
Yeah, but it's like 99% of her stunts are in space. It's not like you can be like, oh yeah, I actually flew in space. That's what happened. I shot laser beams out of my arms and
Who doesn't
murdered
do that?
people.
Do you do that?
No. I'm at Universal.
Only at Universal Orlando Studios.
It's a rave. Actually, going a little bit off of topic real quick. Have you ever wanted to do photography for something other than sports? Like,
I mean, I definitely want to get into more of the landscape, nature stuff, but I mean, here you really have nothing. I've done some landscape and nature stuff up in Wisconsin and Michigan, but I gotta try to find something. I mean, it'd be cool to go to Niagara Falls when it's sunny out. I mean, when I went up there, it was 39 degrees, freezing rain and everything. I'm like, well, can't really take my camera out and take pictures because I don't want anything bad to happen to the lens. But I mean, I definitely venture out, and I mean, if there's other things that I can do, I mean, I'm all game for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, because I mean, along with video, I try to do some photography on the side and try to get, you know, some really good shots of some of the stuff that I'm doing. Not just behind the scenes, just like stuff, just getting actual genuine shots that honestly look really good in my opinion. My voice went really low.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think of that in the sense of, you know, just photography has many different forms and some people like a certain form better than the other. I know that you obviously like sports photography more than pretty much any other form of photography.
Yeah, I
And-
guarantee if sports wasn't in my life, I'd be doing a different type of photography. But
Yeah.
it's been my life since I've been 2. So
I definitely I definitely believe that sorry.
Cramps!
Are those hiccups?
No, they're burp/hiccups. They're burps.
Burp ups?
Burp ups, yeah. Burp ups, I like to call them. I mean, I just think that photography is really cool. I think being able to capture a moment and keep it forever, basically. Sounds a little creepy, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Being able to capture a moment like that and being able to, what's the word? Being able to show it to people and being able to be like, here's some of the work that I've done and I hope that you hire me. Yeah, I enjoy that. And then that also applies to videography as well.
Yeah, for show reels, like different previous works you've done,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I know that by the end of 2019, I hope to get out another project and then get a demo reel together.
That's my goal too. I'm like, by the
Even
time
if
we
it's
leave March,
even if
I'm-
it's a very very short demo reel, I don't care. I really want to be able to have that kind of outlet to be like, here's the work that I've done, and you know, obviously I'll be improving and making more projects. I actually have an idea that I want to talk to you about after the podcast is over for a film, and I want to get your take on it. It's very simple. It's like a comedy/drama kind of thing. Comedy/drama.
Ooh.
It's like a
I like that.
I've
I've always wanted to do a comedy.
it's like a very dark comedy, and it's something that I
Even better.
think it's something that I've been like kind of planning for a long time, but it's whatever.
dark comedy in the future. Alex as the main actor.
No.
When are you getting your 1DX? I know you.
I mean, that's kind of on hold right now. I know I'm definitely getting it, but I'm waiting still to get more money in. I'd rather get it and have money left over than to get it and then all my money's gone practically.
Yeah, so you don't want to just go broke out of nowhere.
Yeah, Alex has a very is very lucky. He's getting the 1DX very soon, and we are
Beast camera.
We are all
Beast.
jealous. Now, preferably, if I were to spend a shit ton of money on a camera, I'd like to spend a shit ton of money on a C200. That's just me.
The C100 Mark II is still viable now.
Definitely. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that I think that if I'm gonna spend a
Yeah.
shit ton of money on a camera, C200 is the way to go. If you're gonna spend, how much is the Mark II right now? The C100 Mark II?
C100 Mark II is the same price as it was at the beginning of this year, so $3,500.
You can
Okay,
get a
so
1DX for that much.
yeah. So
Yeah.
C100 Mark II is $3,500. It's not that bad. Plus, it also has the screen that can flip onto the side of the camera.
Yeah,
which
it's
is,
even
which
got
is
the
what I'm-
touchpad on the screen,
Yeah,
so you don't have
that's
to use
that's what
the
I really
grip.
that's what I'm really liking about the Mark II, at least. C200's $10,000 on a certain website.
What? It should be $7,500.
B&H has it. Yeah, B&H has it for $7,500. But
Is that body only or?
I believe. Hold on, I'm gonna look.
Cinema cameras, big old.
It comes with literally everything but the lens.
I mean, we got lenses.
So yeah, I know. But it comes with like a handle. It comes with like the where we keep the microphones. It I don't know if it says that it comes with hold on, I'm gonna read what it comes with. Keep talking and then I'll chip back in.
Okay.
This thing fucking shoots in 4K. I'm sorry. I just like saying it
And
shoots in
RAW
4K.
too. It shoots in RAW.
Yo.
So does the 1DX.
Well, not.
You
It
can
doesn't
eat
shoot
my
video
ass.
RAW. Video RAW is.
No, I was
is
talking about 4K.
crazy. Oh yeah.
That's MP4 recording.
It's a cropped version, but it's still good.
There's a touch
Well, give me
panel.
what I want to do in the video done. So
It has
Pretty
Ethernet connectors. I can't speak today.
Ethernet, like connect to the Wi-Fi.
It says it has Ethernet connectors. I think it means like a wire, but I don't know if it's like
you
connects
plug it
to
in, and you
Wi-Fi.
plug it into your laptop, and then you
Yeah,
get the results.
I think that's what it's talking about, like plugging into your laptop.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I know that I want to invest in a C100 or a C200 or a C300 or, you know,
C300 Mark II is. I've seen side by side footage of the C200 and the C300 Mark II in low light. The C300 Mark II at like 12,800 like ISO is
it's a
like,
real specific number. Anyways, continue.
well, it's like 9 stops.
You're
or
good.
something.
You're good.
But like, I didn't see any grain, like no noise whatsoever.
Yeah,
and the
because-
C200, you start seeing it a little bit at that.
Yeah,
high,
but you should
but-
really never be going up to 12,000.
Most of like a spatial delay.
Unless you're like shooting in like pure darkness, Game of Thrones, you should not be going up to 12,000 ISO. That's not something that you should be doing, because I feel like even if you are shooting in like natural light, you want to do complete darkness, there should be some sort of lighting in there that you should consider. There's no justification for shooting at 12,000. I hate people who do.
Yeah, but it really does, like, even if you go to higher ISO, so if you get to like 3200 ISO, it looks amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I know that for the films that I want to shoot in, 99% of the time I'm going to be shooting in golden hour. Just because it's a nicer way to shoot.
Easier.
It's easier. It gives you some nice natural lighting. It doesn't make you shoot in pure blackness, Game of Thrones.
He keeps ragging on episode 3.
Episode 3 was so dark. The only person I have to thank for that episode was Melisandre, because you know what? She made it bright.
She lit everyone's swords on fire.
For Alex, because I don't think you watch Game of Thrones.
Do I have time? That's the question.
Yeah, you don't have time. So, I'm not going to spoil the show for you just in case you want to watch it. However, episode 3 of the final season, it's a real bad start. Episode 3 of the final season. It's like this epic battle. It's what basically the entire show's been building up to, right? Can't see anything. For the first 20, 30 minutes, you're like, what the fuck is going on? I can't see anything. And then, you get like 20 or 30 minutes in, this character basically lights up this entire trench with fire. And then you go, thank goodness, I want to thank Melisandre for being the excellent role model that she is, getting the lighting up to about 75% at this point. It's ridiculous. Anyways, back to cameras. I mean, I know that a part of me definitely wants to get a very, very nice cinema camera in the future. I'm happy with the camera that I have right now. I love the camera that I have right now. I also love the lens. However, I know that,
You should have went T7i.
I should have been T7i. Not gonna name any names, but you know who you are. Anyways.
What?
You should bleep that out. That would just be funny. I mean, I know that I definitely do want the C100 series. I just say C100 series just because they changed the numbers and I don't like
The C Hundo.
the C-Hundos. The
Hondas, the C Hondas.
I just love cine cameras and I love being able to use them, and I'm more comfortable with cine cameras. However, it's not as affordable as Canon 80D.
Well, they're easier to manage because with the side grips and
Yeah.
it just makes it so user friendly.
Not to mention the fact that 99% of the time, I hate using like the 3.5 millimeter jacks. I hate using those.
You'd rather use an XLR.
I'd much rather use an XLR. Not only does it give me good range in terms of like, oh yeah, my audio guy can go over here and he can record the audio over here. These people can talk. I don't have him in shot, and I don't have to worry about the camera being too far away because the microphone is still picking up what they're saying. However, when you have to use the 3.5 millimeter jack, unless you're using like the longest cord you can find at like Walmart or Home Depot, like there's not really much you can do, which bothers me.
And
you either have
super high quality.
Yeah, you either have to get the camera right up in their face or just hope for the best. And I don't like hoping for the best. Which is why sometimes when I'm recording audio for Home Love, I get a little nervous, and that's why I kind of am thankful that we bought microphones that have not XLRs, but they're
wireless, so you don't have to run the wire.
So it makes life a little bit easier. What's the word? What was I about to say? But yeah, overall, my take is I just really want a cinema camera.
Well, we're gonna be investing later on. We're actually shooting on a C100 right now. That's what you're viewing through, but
Yeah.
it's not ours. We're kind of using it.
Yeah, we rent
We don't have the
equipment.
one for it yet.
Yeah, we don't have the money to buy a C100. We rent C100s from our teacher, who is rad. Go follow him
Not Brad.
at nothing, because he doesn't have social media, because he hates it.
We have to have social media. That's
have to have it.
That's something that is
Not personal
prominent in our field. Because if you don't have social media, you can't make it anymore. You can't. And I hate to say that, but I mean,
They're just not going to be noticed.
yeah, it's just it's impossible to get noticed if you don't have a social media. If you have a website, that works too. However,
people are more likely gonna notice a Facebook post than you on a website.
yeah. And then, I mean, I don't want to be that person who goes like, oh yeah, I'm going to post all my short films on YouTube, but I'm going to post all my short films on YouTube. Because it's an avenue, where at the end of the day, if you can't get into the industry the way that you want, do stuff on Vimeo, do stuff on YouTube, do stuff on these video sharing platforms that you can do stuff in. And, YouTube, you're allowed to monetize original content. Since I'm very grateful that I have a life where, I can not spend money right now on certain things, like Soundstripe and, camera equipment and stuff like that. Yeah.
I got Soundstripe. What are you talking about? I'm totally not using Home Loves.
No. I'm using Home Loves. That's what I was referring to. I mean, I'm very grateful that I have the life that I live right now. I think that, I can make money off of short films if I have the time and the manage and the temperament.
I think
Although I don't think I do have the temperament and I kind of want to die. However, yeah.
I think it's kind of hard to get into the short film and just YouTube in general right now. With the way money is, because you have to pretty much start from nowhere.
Yeah.
And you have to build it over time.
Unless you know people who have a huge following, you can't make it anywhere.
Yeah, and there's not enough hours in the day to invest into everything. You can't just work 10-hour shifts and then come home and be like, I'm going to work on my YouTube channel, and then it takes you weeks to put out one video. No one's going to want to
John Mark can do it.
John Mark doesn't sleep.
No. Neither do I. So it's perfect for me.
That's where I kind of differ from you guys. You guys had fast food jobs like McDonald's and Burger King. I only had
I don't
one
work
job.
there anymore.
Well, had, not have.
Yeah.
But
Ding dong.
I mean, that was me. I mean, I only worked one job, and it was in a restaurant for 6 hours, and I was let go because apparently I wasn't good at my job. And I remember sitting down with my parents and talking to them for 2.5 hours, just being like, I'm not going to do another fast food or a retail job. I'm going to do a media job. And
You're going to do what you want to do.
Yeah. And I mean, that was like the end all be all for me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm going to work my hardest. I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm not going to look back at a day in my life.
Yeah.
And I mean, the opportunities I've gotten, I'm only 20 years old, but I mean, I wouldn't have imagined some of these opportunities. I mean, like doing War Eagle games on the field with him, that's been amazing. Even though I got ran into a couple times last game. But
I think that, McDonald's taught me patience, and it taught me a lesson that, I'm never going to forget, which is never work in fast food. And,
Honestly,
but I mean, I'm going to tell you this. McDonald's is brutal. It's rough.
I like smell like burgers coming home every morning.
I hated it. If you have a job in a fast food place, I'm not trying to diss you. I'm trying to help you quit your job.
we were
in that position. I'm gonna tell you this though.
I mean, especially if you're in a
I feel like
job.
I feel like everybody should work at least a few days in fast food.
or retail or pretty much any like industry that really has people that walk in and immediately assume that you're stupid.
Yeah.
Or just be like me and work one job in your life, do a media job.
Because the thing is, you have to learn. Yeah, you have to learn a lot of skills in terms of like socializing and trying to interact with certain people
And dealing with really rude people too.
Yeah, and then you also have to be able to develop a thick skin. I mean, granted, you can vent about it later to your poor spouse who doesn't like hearing about it. However,
Or parents.
Or parents.
Yeah, we're only like 18, 19, and 20. We're not married yet.
Yeah.
At least I hope not.
I mean, no, I'm not married.
Emma.
He gets down on one knee on the podcast.
She's gonna watch this too. Shout out to Emma.
Follow her at nowhere.
She doesn't have social media.
Exactly. That's why I said nowhere. But yeah, I mean, I just think of fast food as a place where you can develop the skills that you need to succeed in life. It's not a place where I feel like everybody should stay forever, though. That's just how I feel about
you're
it.
talking about a thick skin. I mean, you guys worked fast food,
Yeah.
and that's how you guys developed it. I was an athlete for a few years.
Yeah.
And that's how I developed mine, always telling people that
You developed a literal thick skin.
Yeah, basically telling people.
Somebody shoots you, it just bounces right off. That's how that works.
Exactly.
He's good. You get players and like even fans at some like. I remember one time we were shooting photos for like the hockey games. You were like, people would come up to you with their phone. They're like, "Ha, look, I can take a good photo too." Snap. like they do that all the time. You talk about this all the
Yeah,
time.
I get that a lot, and to be honest, it's quite funny now because I used to take it like, oh my god, these people are gonna take my job, but now I just find it so funny. I'm just like,
You have no idea.
Can you try to recreate this shot real quick? All right.
She goes, it looks kind of blurry. Shut up. All right, that's about all the time that we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like the video, please be sure to, I can't speak today, please be sure to share it on social media, share it wherever you can. And thank you guys for watching.
I'm going to put tags below for the Facebook, for his Facebook page, mine, Alex's Instagram. I'm just gonna fill the whole page up.
I'm not on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Only Instagram for my production company right now because I still need to work on doing Facebook. But other than that, please be sure to follow me on Instagram at Media Retroactive.
And still trying to set up the mailbox. Hopefully by at least episode 4 or 5, we at least have some form of messages coming in.
Yeah.
Just give feedback at directorschair@gmail.com. Send any email like questions, responses.
It'll show up at
feedback.
the bottom of the screen right now. If Jared decides to edit it in, it'll be showing up at the bottom of the screen.
Just
not right here, but just
somewhere right over there.
Somewhere right here, maybe in front of Jared's face, maybe in front of my face, maybe in front of Alex's face.
this is the moneymaker, man.
If he's nice and has a little bit of time, he'll edit that in where it goes from Jared's face to my face to
I
his
like how
face.
you're just low key like touching
Do this.
it. Do the pray.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Have a good night. But thank you guys for watching. Please follow us on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. If you guys want to check out the projects that we've worked on, we have websites as well. www.theretroactivemedia.com is my website.
www.gravityproductions.com, not at Gmail.
You have a website you want to plug?
No.
And that's the last word from Alex.
Go
Have a good night.
Bulls!
Alrighty, thank you very much for watching. Have a
See
good
ya.
day.